I would like now to invite the representative of the other side, which is the economist, and not just any economist. I would like to ask Ms. Anna Kowalczyk, the spokesperson for Poland and Baltic countries of the World Bank.
Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you very much for inviting the World Bank and myself to this amazing event. I am in this unfortunate situation, as you can see, that I'm presenting slides that I didn't prepare. They were all prepared by Nicolas Perrin, my colleague and urban specialist in the World Bank. We're not very much friends with Nicolas right now because he couldn't make it today. But he promised me that he would answer any possible questions that you might have. So his contacts, his telephone number and an email will appear on the last slide. Let me start with at least a try to an answer to a question which is the title of our panel. Well, in the World Bank, we believe that investing in heritage is an absolute must. It's not a luxury. It's something that actually stimulates the economic development. Let me start with a very general slide on the World Bank. Well, as you all know, World Bank's mission is to fight poverty with passion and professionalism, and World Bank provides low-interest loans for very different projects to various countries, and one of the areas of those projects is urban development and heritage. Now, the World Bank urban strategy in general consists of the following themes: promote compact cities, economic diversification, and urban agglomeration. Well, invest in historic city and cultural heritage for the World Bank means to create a symbiotic relation between communities and local economic development. It means reduce poverty by creating job opportunities. It means implying environment-friendly technology and solutions, and it means support social development. Now, why cultural heritage is important for the World Bank in ECAUT, Europe and Central Asia region? Three main reasons that were all actually mentioned in previous presentations. Well, the first is that heritage supports a sense of identity. Culture have a very strong impact, as we believe, on economic development, and also it has important social benefit. Europe and Central Asia has a very rich and very diversified heritage and cultural assets. And major political economic changes of the 90s actually made ECA's cultural heritage vulnerable to damage and loss. And so one of the World Bank roles is to respond to that and to address and partly compensate for the lack of different government support and capacity. This is what we would like to do, and this is what I believe we are doing in this region. This is Europe and Central Asia portfolio. I will not go into any details of these, but if you have any questions of any World Bank projects in Europe and Central Asia region, of course, please free to pass them on to me, and I'll make sure that my colleagues will answer all of them. Common features of cultural heritage initiatives for the World Bank in Europe and Central Asia are basically 4 points: cultural heritage conservation, tourism development, community development, and institutional capacity building. Now, investments in cultural heritage conservation is basically conserving historic buildings, adapting historic buildings to create new uses, or upgrading inventories to increase their information accessibility. These are just a few examples of projects that we've done in the region. And again, if you would like to know more of any of those, then please tell me, and I'll make sure that we will answer all your questions. Investments in tourism development is developing not only the tourism assessments, analysis, and strategies, but is also training tourism providers in the region. And it's also providing small grants to prepare new services and new products. And there are a few examples of what we did in the region in Bosnia, Herzegovina, and Albania. I will not, again, go into details due to the time constraints. Community development. This is one of the very general this is one of the general parts of the strategy of the World Bank, which is that we believe that we cannot really bring only the money and loans, but what we need to do is we need to empower people. We need to actually teach people or help them to help themselves. And so community development in this regard is supporting group formation, organization, and participatory planning and decision-making for heritage conservation promotion. It's also building skills such as local planning, or such as promoting community cohesion and reconciliation. Again, some examples from Uzbekistan this time. And the last part, institutional capacity building. As a result of projects in this area, we believe is improved skills for ministries of culture and conservation institutes. And as you can see on the slide, many other. Let me basically finalize this part of the presentation with a few points on the directions for future BARC operations. What we basically would like to do, and what I believe we are doing starting from now, is basically to invest in local development, in cultural heritage and tourism at the local level, and not necessarily working with the governments only, but also on the subnational level. Another direction is urban revitalization, cultural heritage activities such as cultural promotion among and across communities, and also investing in climate change and disaster risk management. Thank you very much. These are contacts to my colleague Nicolas, who, if you have any questions, would be very happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I'm sure we will have a lot of questions. This was extremely interesting and again, very, I think, well-fitting what we are talking about today. We are actually ahead of schedule, which seems almost impossible. Anyway, we do need a coffee break, I guess, especially those of you who, like me, have been waking up 4:45. So before we start the break, I would only would like to ask those of you who have just come after we've opened to please do register at the registration desk and check where your seat is, because you are assigned according to your wishes from the registration forms to different tables that will discuss different themes after the break and after the four more presentations that are ahead of us. So now we have a half an hour break, and we start at 11 sharp, especially that we have 5 minutes more. So you are welcome to take a coffee and talk and enjoy the exhibitions. Thank you very much.